Hey there, this is Bryan Hanks with the Noose News Sports Show here in Snow Hill with head football coach of Greene Central, Jay Wilson. And Coach, it just feels good to say those words. I love saying head football coach Jay Wilson. Coach, you've been here now for 4 games as a head coach,
Yes.
but you've been here for several years before that. How special is it to you to have that moniker in front of your name now, Coach?
I really enjoy it. I think it's something I've always worked for. It's been 20 years in the game, and to try to get to this point. And now that I'm here, and now I get to have total control, I guess you want to say, over the program and all the decisions that go with it. So it's been fun. We've had a lot of fun so far. We definitely had a little more fun winning these last 2 games. So I've had a good time. I've really had a good time.
The biggest difference in being an assistant coach and being a head coach is
laundry. But no, just everything coming through you. Every decision, team meal, what time do we leave, what color are we wearing this week, all that stuff comes through you, and so you're the final say so in everything. So when you're an assistant, you kind of make the decisions based on your little stuff or your little area or small area. But when you're the head coach, whether it's a JV decision, whether it's a varsity decision, it's all coming through you. So that's the biggest difference.
What have you learned about being a head coach? I mean, what is I know this is a moment that you had been working for a long time. What are the lessons that you've learned over the past 20 years being an assistant, being one of the, in my opinion, I've told you this off the record and on the record, being one of the best assistant coaches in the state of North Carolina? What are the lessons you've learned from that you're applying now?
I learned a lot being an assistant coach, and just looking at the guys that I worked with, the Allen Wootons, the Scott Meserves, the Tom Nelsons, the Bennett Johnson, all those guys, and you learn, the thing that you need to do to be successful, and then you sort of implement them in to your own style, and then you just kind of go forward from there. You have to learn how to delegate. Me being sort of a control freak, it's in the beginning, I wanted to be at the O-line group. I wanted to be at the D tackle group. I wanted to be at the linebacker group. I wanted to be with my own DBs, And so you just have to say, I have great guys around me. I trust you. Let's put the product out on the field. And so that's probably the biggest thing, is just being able to delegate and trust those guys that you delegate those things to.
One of the most special things I've heard about you since I met you years and years ago and that I've actually noticed with my own eyes too, is just your special rapport that you have with the kids. I mean, and it depends. Every sport that you've coached, you have that. What do you attribute that to?
Being able to talk to them or meet them on their level, but having the understanding that I need to bring them up to my level.
Okay.
And so, you can't, the days of the authoritarian, you're going to do it my way and there's no other way. Those days, unfortunately, but those days are kind of gone from now. And so you have to sort of meet the kids where they are. And, one thing I found is the social media piece. It's amazing how, a simple Twitter feed or Twitter post and you shouting out a kid or a Facebook thing, it means the world to them. And so when I started figuring that out, I started, understanding the kid a little bit better and just having conversations and knowing the kid and knowing how to reach them. Some kids we can be, let's go, man, and other kids you literally have to put them to the side and say, hey, listen, I know you're better than this. Yeah. And just kind of understanding your athlete or your student or whatever it is, those are, that's how you reach them and that's how you meet them.
Well, I'm a lot older than you are, but I can just tell, I've been covering high school sports since 1992. Kids are different now than they were when we were teenagers and playing sports ourselves, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, they're totally different, and the environment is totally different. The advent of social media, and the quick gratification of a thing. I score a touchdown and my highlight is up tomorrow or tonight. Because we get so many texts. For Friday night or Saturday morning, coaches to film up yet? Coaches to film up yet? Because they're ready to find their highlight, put it up, so on and so forth. And I always laugh. I say, y'all wouldn't have grown. Y'all wouldn't have been able to survive in the VHS days because we didn't get to look at the tape until Monday at practice when coach put it in the VCR. They are different, but some ways you kind of wish they had a little bit of old school mentality about it. But at the same time, this new school, if you know how to use it and you know how to work it, it can work for the advantage of the kid and the program. So.
Going into this week's game against a very good North Lenoir team, an undefeated 5-0 North Lenoir team. You guys are 2-2, but you know, and I've kept up with you, as you know, and Junius has too. That close.
Yeah.
Close to being 4-0.
Yeah.
Is it frustrating, or I'm not going to put words in your mouth? What to be that close to 4-0, and this could have been a 4-0 versus 5-0 matchup for tonight or for this week's game. Is it frustrating at all?
If you take it the wrong way, it can.
Okay.
If you allow, you know, the mistakes to frustrate you, and then, you know, you don't look at it. But I look at a game film and I say, okay, you know, 141 snaps. We had 126 great snaps, or great or above average snaps. We had 15 below average snaps. Those 15 are what cost us the game.
Yeah.
So next time we need to have 10 below average snaps, or so on and so forth. So you never let the smaller number take you away from what your purpose is. So I commend a guy. Hey, we did this right. We did this right. We did this right. Now we did this wrong, and see how it cost us. So next time we come on the field, let's not do this wrong. A perfect example. We had a coverage against Charles B. Aycock. Totally blew it.
Yeah.
Just blew it. Safety was out of place. Corner had no clue, and they scored an easy, walk-in touchdown basically. We come back against Eastern Wayne, very similar situation. We got it right, and that in an 8-6 ball game, us getting that right that one time made the difference in the game, because the kid would have been wide open if we'd have made the same mistake. But because we corrected it, we fixed it, we understood it, we didn't make the same mistake the next game. Now we came out with the victory. So
another thing that's got to be, and again, frustrating, I know is the wrong choice of word, so I'll let you describe it, but the Eastern Carolina 2A preseason offensive player of the year, when all you coaches met in Ayton and voted on it, was Knowledge Branch. A great young man who had an opportunity, and a lot of people, all the other coaches just bragging about, they were scared to well, not scared, but they were not looking forward to facing Greene Central because of the great players Knowledge Branch. I know you lost him, I think, in the second game. Is that correct?
About second quarter of the Charles B. Aycock game.
There you go.
Game, yes.
Just tell us a little bit, give us an update on him. Is it possible for him to come back this year?
Right now, it will be a way outside shot for him to come back. He had surgery, and it's a kneecap type injury. And so, he and I sat down, we talked with Mom a little bit, even that night. And, our thought process for him is to get him 100% healed.
Yeah.
We don't want to put him back on the field and risk anything that would even, set him back even further. He's back in school. He's moving around a little bit. He starts physical therapy in a little bit. So, we kind of are sitting down game plans for him going forward. It was a blow.
I was going to ask you, how big of a loss is
it was a blow. And you could sort of see, the wind come out of our sails against Charles B. Aycock. It was a back and forth ball game. I think he had just broken off a run for about 10 or 15 yards. It's just one of those plays. He gets hit not low. He just gets hit in a certain way. Kneecap goes into the ground, and there it is. And so the very next play, we had to put a younger guy in, fumble it. They recover, go in and score, and now because he was not only our starting tailback, he was also our starting linebacker. And he and Luke Hoskins, they were a good complement to each other. Luke is more of a power plugger. I can get in here and meet the fullback, and Knowledge is going to clean up everything. So, we went from, to a senior and a junior with plenty of varsity experience into throwing, a Daniel Denny in, who was a sophomore who had plenty of experience on JV, but we all know it's a different kind of animal.
Yeah.
So, Denny comes in, and that first game, he's wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, and he's, and then, the next game, he has an opportunity to sort of get more settled. Yeah. And then this last game against Farmville Central, he had his best game so far. And that's sort of what you expect to happen in the maturation level. So it's just, but it took us that game and a couple of practices, because we as coaches are still like, well, okay, let's wait for the MRI, let's wait for the results. Is this a bang, and then you find out it's it's more serious. So you even as a coach, because it's bigger than football. This is a young man. This is a 17-year-old kid. And you feel sorry, you're upset because you watched him work all summer. Lift the weight, squat, have great numbers, lead the team, be a leader, and then 2 games into his junior year, which is that year that sort of really puts you on the map, he gets this injury, and you're just like, God, man, of all the kids that it can happen to, you don't want it to happen to any kid, but you just like the kid that works hard and did the right thing, and then that happens, so it's like,
but it's something you can use as a teachable moment, though.
Oh,
right?
yeah, definitely, and we came, once we figured it out, we came in, we sat down with the guys, we talked about it. Hey, like, listen, we can't say, man, if he was here, if this wouldn't happen. I say, when that's sort of become our mantra, you can make a way or you can make an excuse. I said, and we're not excuse makers, and I said, this is probably the first time I really talked about it on camera or to anybody about his situation, because I don't want anybody to be like, oh, well, if they had knowledge, they would.
Yeah.
That's not how we're built.
I know.
There's 60 guys in the program, and any one of you at any moment can be the next man to have to step in, and you have to be ready.
And that's happened, hasn't it?
Yes.
Not just with knowledge, but with other situations this year.
Yes, yeah. And LeQuarrie, we call him Qua, he had to move in for the Charles B. Aycock and the Eastern Wayne game. Well, he gets hurt in the Eastern Wayne game. So we had to pull, Jaden Tyson up, who's a sophomore running back on JV. All right, your turn. Let's go get these carries. And Hezekiah, who when we probably came into the season was going to average about 12 to 15 carries. Now his number goes to the 20 to 22 carries, and somebody takes his spot. So, hey, we're going to have to play the game no matter what. Mm-hmm. So you got to be ready to go. And we can't sit back on the sideline and say, oh, man, we just got to go play with who we have.
Has anybody ever described you as wild-eyed and bushy-tailed?
Maybe my coach my freshman year when we step onto the field and I'm a 155-pound DB and they're running tall sweep my way. But that's about it.
I thought you mentioned that. I was like, man, I've got to get that question in for sure. Well, this week's game, you're playing a North Lenoir team that is 5-0, the best start in the 56-year history of that program. And you're another one of the things I respect about you. You do respect history. Mm-hmm. You love the history of the prep sports programs, not just football, but all of them in our neck of the woods. Mm-hmm. And to see North Lenoir jump out to that 5-0 start, what does that mean to you as a student of sports history here in this area?
I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, very rarely do you see a team go from 0-10 or 0-11, whatever their last record was, and start off the very next year at 5-0. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is a big time thing, and I preach to our guys, that they're riding high, they're confident. That 5-0 means something to them. They're walking around the halls with their chest out. They're excited about football. When you're 0-5, and the weather's starting to change, and the basketball's starting to dribble in there, and you start thinking, man, I'm tired of, But now when you're 5-0,
you'll run through a wall.
Coach, it's time for practice. Nobody has ankle injuries. Nobody's sick for practice. Everybody's let's go, coach. And so that kind of goes back to a testament to coach and what he's trying to build over there and the program and things he's trying to do over there. So, I mean, hats off to him. Off to him. I'm never going to, 5-0 is 5-0. Yeah. And so you look at that and you say, okay, so it's a great test. Now we can both find out where our programs are. Mm-hmm. So, that's a good thing.
Okay, you guys facing this week these two programs have played each other every year since 1964, even before I was born. Yeah. And I'm that old. It's even before I was born. But we'll wrap it up with this, Coach. What do y'all have to do well? You've had a chance to see them on film now. What do you guys have to do well to come away with that victory in Wheat Swamp Friday night?
We have to be physical at the point of attack. They're going to run downhill. They're going to get shoe to shoe, and they're going to try and out-muscle you. And then they're going to throw in some misdirection, and then they're going to throw in a couple of pass plays. And so everybody has to do their job every single play. It can't be, okay, I take a play off, because the play you take off is the one they find you on, and they run the ball your way. And now, we have to on offense maximize every opportunity that we have with the ball. We can't give them short fields. We can't turn the ball over and they only have to go 30 yards to go score a touchdown. And we have to, when we get the ball, we have to score. We can't get docked, in one of those 8-8 ball games. We have to sort of, I used the phrase kind of yesterday, we got to take them into the deep end of the pool. We got to take them into 12-foot water.
I like that.
A lot of people look real confident and look real good in the 3, 4, and 5 foot water. Mm-hmm. But only people who can really swim go down to the 12-foot. So
That's where you find out if someone's a good swimmer.
yeah, that's where you find out.
Yeah.
That's where you find out. And so that's sort of the thing I'm preaching. We got to take them down to the deep end of the pool. We got to take you over to this 12-foot past the rope with the little buoy. We got to take you on the other end where your feet can't touch.
Yeah.
And then, you know, if you can swim, you can swim. And if you can swim, hats off to you.
Yeah.
But we got to take you down there. We got to find out. So
The king of the metaphor right here. Coach Jay Wilson here at Greene Central High School in Snow Hill, North Carolina. Thank you so much for joining us here on the New Snooze Sports Show, and good luck on Friday night.
thank you, sir. Always a pleasure to have you anytime.
Absolutely.